Alright, I have returned. Hopefully everyone is doing wonderfully and got a little bit of gathering done while I was gone. I know that a couple of you were working on knocking some of these gathering spots out. I guess everybody's pretty much needing these tier 4 harvests, huh? Feels like it. Anyway, popping zone. I apparently failed. See, something is odd here about when I click slash, okay, it seems to work fine, but then sometimes it doesn't. Not sure. I did have a strange thing going on the other day with the UI getting messed up. We got brilliant white, bright red, soft red. And so it's possible that this is just a remnant of that situation. Now we got soft red, soft blue, invitation from Gergum, and dim red.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Doing alright. I see that you are also in the Enchanted Lands.
I am, in fact. Bright white,
Well,
dim white.
may I dump some harvestables upon you, so that I may
Oh, but of
continue to
course.
harvest? My inventory has filled. Or maybe I'll dump shinies on you, who knows.
I'll harvest in your direction.
Also, there's like 4 ores right over here where I am. Maybe 5.
Nice.
There's 5. So, maybe
Are you trying to entice me? Is that what we're doing here?
Don't know how long they'll remain here.
I see. Alright.
Anybody else harvesting, but that doesn't mean that it will stay that way.
The good news is they're bound to spawn again. Matter of time there.
Well, yes, but there's just so many right now. Oh no, one of them despawned.
Oh heavens. Here I am.
Another 4.
I kind of have to pick up that heritage quest. You've just
Yeah,
run by me.
What was going on there?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Ooh, I need that green leaf. Nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, better stop there. I only have 11 slots open. Nope, take that out first. Don't hit accept. Alright, now do.
Okay.
Alright.
Now I may continue my harvesting rampage.
But of course, I think I may go ahead and pick up this quest over here. It's a heritage quest. I've been trying not to get the heritage quest, or the quests in general, rather, in this zone, because I don't have very many slots open. But this is a heritage quest, and I'm just feeling like it's a good idea.
That guy has a heritage quest? He has no feathers.
He's the worst. There's no one more likely to kill me.
You're not high enough level yet.
Ah.
I didn't ask who, but do tell me anything.
I can't tell you everything. Why, it's so awful. One day I'm at home in Freeport minding my tinkering shop, and the next, some crazed maniac is leaping over the counter of my workshop, swinging a vicious dagger at me.
Sounds like a fairly normal day in Freeport.
No, see, that's the thing. I would normally expect it, but not from this one. Oh, he was wily. Let me tell you.
Can you describe him?
Kind of short, brutish, brown hair seemed to be an unstoppable foe. Really quite a menace, let me tell you.
Alright, I can help you.
I would recommend starting at the Blood Haze in Freeport. I think I heard he was staying there. I only managed to escape death at his skilled hands through the
You know, I'm
luckiest
just
of
now putting
chances.
together why I
Please
sometimes randomly
find him.
saw disturbed
I will
corpses as
reward
I'm
you
wandering
handsomely
around.
if you do.
It's because people were scrying.
Correct. I'll see what I can find. Now this
I always thought it
heritage...
was weird whenever I wandered through Thundermist Village and there's just like a skeleton standing there, and I'm like, I don't remember skeletons ever being in Thundermist Village.
Uh-huh. This heritage quest is going to send me into Freeport, which is unpleasant. But, you know, it's the cost sometimes that one has to pay in order to get cool things like equipment that you can't use, you know? It's one of the many benefits. I don't have much room left for harvesting, but I may as well go ahead and do it until such time that I can't anymore. And then I can go drop stuff off in the depots. Seems like a good idea.
I've hit multiple harvesting nodes where they only have one harvest left in them. I don't know what's going on.
Well, sometimes it's because people are harvesting and then they get attacked while they're harvesting and they don't finish. Other times it may be because their bags fill up or they're just done harvesting.
Hmm.
Or maybe they're just doing it to mess with you. Another option.
That seems less likely.
It does. But it could be funny to go around and harvest 2 out of every node and just, you know, watch people surprise.
I couldn't do that. Like, I just can't, I can't even, like, think of bringing myself to do that.
I probably could, but I might forget what I was doing in mid harvest and stop.
Well, I just couldn't do it because I'd have to come back and harvest them. I can't just leave them there.
Why did I leave? I got here and then go right out. It's so funny. I think that pretty much covers what I needed to draw.
Okay, I've got like 3 stacks of Fey Iron, so I'm replenishing our Fey Iron pretty good.
Nice. I just dumped some of the stuff in there that I grabbed. Well, all of the stuff that I grabbed. But I have no idea how much. I didn't pay attention to those kinds of details.
I also have like 4 stacks of Tussa roots. And of course, a horrendous amount of miscellaneous fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, Your provisioner should be pretty much good to go, I would think.
I've also got 6 glimmering flowers.
Hello.
Nice.
And a glimmering stone. Oh, and over the course of my gathering today and yesterday, I have got 3 face steel clusters in total.
Nice job. I got a couple of ruthenium earlier.
Got a couple of the jewelry one.
Yes. Looks like an ad starts in 30 seconds, just to warn you folks.
I also got like 3 of the rare pelts yesterday and 1 of the rare wood.
Yeah, you were mentioning the pelts.
It was pretty crazy.
I had to fight the temptation to jump off the Griffin in Antonica because there were just so many ores sitting there.
I don't think I could stop myself. Unless I was going to go gathering somewhere else. Anyways.
That's what I'm doing. Going to gather in Enchanted Lands.
Definitely better to gather in the Enchanted Lands than in Zach.
Oh yeah, for sure. Huh. Life says in general. Is Beaver Shark online? I think I'm familiar with Beaver Shark, but I like it. Looks like there's a level 55 conjurer looking for groups, and you guys need any,
Oh, my bags are full again.
any DPS.
Time to crawl back to the house.
And there you go. Seems like today is a day of harvesting pretty much everybody.
Hello.
Isengard, really? Isengard, the level 19 Berserker. Interesting choice. I want, I don't know, I feel like without having Orc as a playable race, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. See if I can find a shinier. Oh, there it is, right there. Excellent. Sometimes all you have to do is mention what you're trying to do or what you're failing to do, and all of a sudden, it appears. I find that you have to verbally mention it. You can't just wish it in your mind. You have to tell someone in some way. It can be written, right? Because sometimes you can send a message to one of your friends complaining about how you can't find X, Y, or Z, and all of a sudden, as soon as you do, there it is. Wait and check that mender, because you should always check menders, you know? If you see it and you think about it, do it. You know, I think this time I'm going to head off this direction to kind of try to get some of these shinies that are over here. You'll note on here, there's one right there. I may have gotten before on this touch. I don't think so. I haven't really been doing much in the Enchanted Lands with this guy, so I probably haven't gotten it yet. I'm just going to kind of harvest my way in that direction. Not in any kind of big hurry or anything. But I do see a shiny this direction over here, so I will be heading there by route of the shiny. Of that you can be certain. Mr. Jelly, did you make it out to harvest in the Enchanted Lands yet? I know you had indicated you had maybe long-term plans to do so. For those who missed it, we made this little bar over here to very easily equip the harvesting tool that I want at any given moment. As you can see, it's very fast. You just click what you want, and then boom, it's there. And you can increase your harvesting speed by a quite a little percentage, actually. Which I'm sure you can see. Anybody who has gone harvesting on Origins is certainly aware of the very slow harvesting speed compared to if you've been harvesting on Live. This definitely makes that less of an issue. Tempted to go and camp the land with the Lightbringer HQ? Well, sure, why not? If you're on it, no big deal. Do it. Go get that Wandering Pride. Wandering Pride Lioness. I would say if you're doing that, then you probably want to go ahead and, while waiting on the lion to spawn, run down and kill the placeholders for Gare and Koopa, so that when you do get the lion, you can just run down and hopefully at least one of those will be spawned as well. Makes your life a little bit easier. Who knows, maybe you'll just be phenomenally lucky and the lion will just be waiting for you over there. Stranger things have happened. these rat creatures are very, very much aggro. They're not very nice, that'll tell you. Fingers crossed then under the boot stage too. I'm planning tonight. Well, it probably is. Must be like, I don't know, what is it, about 6 p.m. where you're at? Seven. Alright, well, it wasn't too far off. So you've got a little bit of time. If you need help with anything, let me know. I'm currently just running around gathering, so I'm not exactly indisposed. And click this rocking chair to get this shiny out of there. We got one more of these over here. But care must be taken, because these guys are aggro. I'm wondering if I can do something on the risky side here. I mean, surely I can do something on the risky side. See if I can do it effective. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Might work, might not. I think they're too fast for me. Put that into place before I'm ready. Dang, that's too bad. Didn't work. Ah well. They won't chase me very far because I didn't hit them. However, that ferocious lasher minute. So have you not started the boots yet, or are you just partway done with it? Not even started it up yet? Yeah, well, okay. The trouble is going to be getting those spawns that you need, really, for the light ring of return light. Because the rest of it, like the wall stuff, that's not so big of a deal because you get the blood talon spawns easy. The cave root horrors, they're up pretty often. There's a couple of spawns of those that can come up, so it's not so bad. But Hot Priest of Valmar can be a real difficult one to pull up. he just doesn't want to spawn very much. And sometimes, same can be said for Gare and Ogoth. Their placeholders like to be there a lot more often than they do, but it's not as bad. I think the hardest one is the High Priest. The rest, yeah, sure, you could do it. Of course, these boots were made for you. You've got a little bit of running around to do. But it's not too bad. While I'm over in this direction, I ought to get this. And the easiest way to get it is if you have it selected like that, because it's inside the page. It's not great. And I don't know that I can get to it. I'm going to try and visit. Let me see if I can or not. But I won't be surprised if I can. It seems that a lot of people don't actually know about the static collectibles. Or perhaps they don't know where they are if they do know that they exist. So, it would be impossible at this point because they have made these no trade. And so if you don't know where they're at, then it would be impossible for you to finish some of these book collection quests. And that would be in, at least, in every zone. At this tier, there are at least a few that are quick. They're static. Now I'm gonna have to get over here to the cave entrance. I shouldn't have gone in Viz yet, probably. I did not realize it was still on the actual. Alright, that's more like it. May as well get some fishing done along the way, right? See where we're at, maybe. Alright, so you go up this little path right here, and I'm going to go in Viz because there's going to be some folks nearby who can maybe see me. Okay, and first and foremost, though, we gotta grab this. This is a lantern, and it has that piece. Uh-oh, that's a problem. Yeah, there's just not much to do about that, I'm afraid. Yep, they could see through. Well, I made it to the piece I wanted.
So, I just watched you go from full health to dead in like 1 second.
Oh, well, there were some miners. They didn't like me in their little home. Mining community. inside the cave and doing the work.
Because that was an interesting thing from my perspective. Like, I see you take like a tiny hit, and I'm like, oh, she's probably just like run into some guy or something, and run it off or whatever. And then you just go to red, and you have a poison condition, and then you're dead.
Yeah, pretty much. That covers it.
It was quite interesting.
It was a group of blue heroics.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that'd do it.
It did do it, as a matter of fact. In short order. I see that these folks have like a gathering duo out here.
Oh, yeah, those would be the guys who are trying to compete with me.
Compete in what manner? Just gathering while you're gathering, or trying to gather your things? Which one?
They're trying to gather while I was gathering.
Just gathering alongside.
They clearly don't have harvesting tools, though.
As your compatriots.
Yeah, they don't have harvesting tools. If they're the same people, anyways. I could tell because I was gathering substantially faster.
Oh, nice. Finished a collection. The skeleton over here is interesting. Not skeleton. The scarecrow. Scarecrow over here is interesting. He's got a little quest line. I'll probably do it later. I want to do it now, but as you know, I'm avoiding getting quests here right now. I really have to catch up on so many things. One of these days, Vitalnaren's brother is going to spawn his little corpse in the area where he needs to be. It's just a matter of time. It'll happen. Mr. Jelly, are you still in Fallen Gate then? Or have you moved on from there at least? You've begun the Ramadan. So I was just reading about being able to pause and rewind live streams on Twitch. And I think that's really interesting, and it puts me in mind of something they used to have for television. I don't know if it's still a thing or not, and I also don't know what it's called, so I'm not really a TV watcher, but I thought it was odd at the time that you could rewind things that were streamed, or that were at that point playing on the television live. It was around, I want to say sometime between 2000 and 2010. I don't remember exactly when. And Common Lands managed to clear. Oh, you cleared Fallen Gate. Were you doing the quests in there, or were you just running around killing stuff? Shadow Knight, I see. So that's level 22. Had a couple of quests to finish. But mainly just killing stuff. Yeah. I'm not huge on just going and killing stuff in general. But I mean, sometimes, you're going along with friends, you're going along, in that sort of situation, and you end up doing it. I was in Obelisk of Lost Souls last night, and I was doing the quests, and I think that my group mates were also doing quests, but there was a whole lot of it that was just killing stuff, and partially that's because we were spawning names for the door unlock quests. Yeah. You can probably just ignore it. Gotta get my focus up somehow. Kind of playing that way on my Shadow Knight at the moment, more quests, but if I see a group of feed sales, I can't help myself. Yeah, I get you. That's, you mean as far as the playing on your Templar goes? Yeah, I definitely understand. When people need help with anything, you gotta go help them, right? But otherwise, questing along was a good way to go. Solo grind as a dealer is pretty tedious. Yeah, definitely. And these groups have funded my SK a bit more too. I'm sure that's true. I mentioned leveling a Guardian at about this time period. I was also leveling a Mystic at around the same time, maybe can't remember if I leveled the Guardian first or the Mystic first, but both of them were around the same time. And certainly, with either one of them, it is slow going without a group. You can do it, but it's not great. I really prefer to group for questing. I mean, if we're just doing the adventuring side of things in general, I prefer to group with anything, with any character. But some of them, it's more imperative as far as speed goes. Like, you know, with the swashbuckler, you know, you get quite a bit of damage in, so it's not as mind-numbing to kill something as it is with one of those classes that just was absolutely made with grouping in mind. Ah, well, come on now. Oh, it didn't have to be this way. You know what, though? It's gonna come thing. Kill X amount of this creature, I don't mind, but when it comes, when it takes you 75 seconds to kill one, you can dip its yeah, definitely. It's, when it takes more than, like, a minute to kill a single creature, it's not even necessarily heroic, that definitely does become very tedious very quickly. But again, yeah, they're made for grouping, so you know what you're getting into pretty much when you make them. I keep threatening to make one, but I haven't gotten around to it as far as the Guardian goes. I keep thinking, and I mentioned it this morning as well. I ought to make one because I feel like they're excellent for grouping, and mystics as well. And it can be difficult to find someone who's not only made a guardian but also knows how to play a guardian. And so sometimes the answer to that is to, you know, to do it himself. But I don't know. I like to make a character. Whenever I make a new character, I like to make one that I haven't done before, because that's you know, it challenges me and also allows me a better understanding of what the other subclasses really do. Get a group of people to do it with, it would be awesome. Well, sure, yeah, but you know, you can always have a group of people if you want one. But having a consistent group of people is also nice. And again, sometimes, you know, sometimes you just have to, you know, put yourself out there and, you know, find people that are fun to play with by playing with different people. And if you like them, add them to the friends and then start building that kind of a group, you know? think one thing is people get kind of gun shy as far as playing with people they haven't played before, because there are so many terrible experiences with pickup groups. And I think part of that is because sometimes, rather than things happening organically, people will be out there for hours spamming without needing a group, and then, yeah, I don't want to go in there. And then, they get what they get, and maybe none of the people know each other, have ever played with each other before, which is a more difficult place to start than if you have even one person that you've played before with, and that you kind of have some concept of play styles, of how each other's play style is, and that you have at least one person you can rely on to be what you expect them to be, right? But you start with just one, and then you add to that by meeting more people that you enjoy. Like you mentioned earlier, that you had a good group there, right? That you were playing with in Fallen Gate, and so you could think about which of those players you enjoyed playing with, or if you enjoyed playing with all of them, add them to your friends list, and then next time that you see them log on, you say, hey, we played together, and would you like to do something again? Kind of thing. And pretty soon, before you know it, you have yourself a group of people. That's been my experience anyway. Let's see here. Nightmare needed something. Man, I cannot remember which class he needed it for either. It's a real problem. Wasn't his assassin he was talking about? Probably the Berserker. Might have been Phase Steel. Only been one bad experience so far. Everyone's been great for the most part. Well, awesome. In that case, let's just add them to your friends lists, and then you can find them again, and over time, build up a little posse. I haven't had any bad grouping experiences that I would say were bad on this server, but then I've mostly been grouping with guildmates. Very, very rarely have I grouped with people outside of the guild on this server.
We are the terror
They
you will
spotted
never
me. I
forget.
thought they probably would, but I hoped they wouldn't, Guess I gotta run a little bit further then. Phase Steel. I feel like I got at least one piece of Phase Steel already. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Alright, did you need any of the face steel, Diagram, or are you good on that for the moment?
I don't have any equipment yet for that.
Oh, okay.
I have 0 face steel armor.
Alright, so you just hit level 32 the other day, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna craft myself a face steel shield here in a bit.
Nice.
Because I'm almost at the crafting level to do it.
Alright, I think we have some in the depot too.
Yeah, there's like 11 sitting in there right now.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I thought we had some. And I've got one in my bags.
Well, I mean, I deposited 3 into it yesterday, so...
Nice. So that should actually be enough for you to get a set of face steel and still have some left. But not extra use too.
Maybe. If there's 11.
Let's not discount the one in my bags.
Well, yes. But, like, I just don't know if there are 11 in the guild bank right now. There were at some point that I looked, but I don't know if they're still there.
Right.
This is the second time that I've hit Armorer's Insight,
Nice.
just while doing, like, this one work order.
Got plenty of glimmering stone, I'll tell you that right now.
I only got 1 glimmering stone in all of my harvesting.
Wow.
But I did get like 6 glimmering flowers, so...
I think we have a good bit of glimmering stuff in the depot though.
Oh yeah, there's plenty.
Are you doing rush orders or are you doing regular writs?
Work orders, because there's a forge in the house now, so...
Right.
Means I don't have to fill up my bags with a bunch of gatherables.
Exactly, yeah. Makes life a lot easier. I think next we're going to want to get a woodworking table probably. And that's going to have, you know, most of the crafting types covered.
Yeah, then all that's left out is like sages, alchemists, and provisioners.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and
Sorry.
if the
Sewing
weaponsmith has to use the tailor bench for some reason.
And the sewing table.
Well, sometimes the weaponsmith has to use the tailor's workbench. I had that happen with my weaponsmith when I was trying to do a rush order. I was not
That's
pleased.
unfortunate.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
no
not
wonder.
great. I had to go run over and get the filaments, and then I had to like go to the sewing table, and that really disrupted my flow.
Yeah, sounds right.
Dang old weaponsmiths having to use two different benches.
Oh, there's another face tail.
Are they the only ones that have to use two different benches?
Possibly. Somebody's saying that he thinks carpenters might be used for forge. I'm not sure.
I mean, maybe they'd
Maybe.
have to for like the metal accessories.
Yeah, for like the candelabras and things like that. Um, yeah. Scones. Yeah, yeah. That's the provision in Mr. Jordan.
Sconces? We're talking about sconces?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I think the provisioner can actually make scones.
I tell you what, the scones I've had could definitely have been made on a forge. I'm not gonna argue that point. Well, the British scones, the American scones are a whole different animal, of course. The American scones are like a dessert, you know, it's a pastry. But the British scones, those are like this residual ore right here. So
Residual ore. That sounds like the perfect description for a scone.
do you ever eat scones without teeth? Like British scones?
Me?
No, no, not you. You don't ever eat scones at all, I doubt.
Not British ones.
Oh, you hate tea? Oh, oh no. What do you eat your scones with? Okay, so wait, there's
I
tea
see
and
there's
then
a
there's
pretty
tea, right?
controversial opinion in your chat.
Have you, okay. I think that, the Brits like the Earl Grey, right? And, man, I do not like Earl Grey. Also, I've tried this Indian tea, and it's Assam tea, and that's a whole different animal. Like, it's not even like tea. I mean, it's good. I like it fine, but it's definitely not what you're expecting when you know make tea. And unknowingly believe that it's going to be similar to like the tea we drink here in America. But as far as Earl Grey, yeah, I don't do Earl Grey at all.
Okay,
Um,
there's 8 face steel in the depot right now, so somebody's used some.
but I never tried it with the with like milk in it because my understanding is that the British put milk in the tea, right? So I've never possibly had a proper cup of tea. I also have to pick up foodies, of course. So Foodie says, "Hey, hey, hey! I don't got time for pitter patter chitter chatter. I gotta find my lost baubles and get out of here." And I say, "How did you lose your things?" He says, "My bag ripped when I ran out of running eye. Stupid old bag. No surprise that an evil eye would have a flimsy bag. What do they need to carry around? They don't have hands or nothing." I say, "It is kind of strange that one would have a bag." He says, so, you gonna start looking for my lost things or what? And I say, I don't remember volunteering. He says, come on, help me find my things so I can get out of here. Orgaz is gonna be furious when he finds out his stuff is missing. And I say, you stole his things, didn't you? He says, well, his stuff didn't just fall into my bag. You help me out and I'll give you a reward. That sounds good, right? Sounds good? And I say, I'll help you, but the reward better be good. He says, oh, it will be. Okay, you go find the cracked gold monocle and I'll look for the pencil. Meet back here if you find it. He says, wait, where did you last have the monocle? He says, I remember some nasty-looking dark fly fairies hovering around me when I tried it on. I must have grabbed it when it fell out of my bag. Oh, those winged insects. Can you believe they'd steal from me? Go get it back from me. And I say, I'll meet you back here with the monocle. Yours is more of a breakfast tea? Alright, so when you say breakfast tea, I've heard of like Irish breakfast. Okay. So English breakfast, yeah, I've had that before too, I think. But see, the thing is, what you call English breakfast tea may not necessarily be what we in America call English breakfast tea. So how would you compare that to like a black tea? Let's see. No idea how to make that more, how to describe what that means to me. Different ballgame. Okay, so apples and oranges, huh? I see. For me, I guess I've tried a lot of different types of tea, and I don't like all of them. Like I said, I don't like Earl Grey. I don't like I don't dislike what we call breakfast tea. I don't really have any issue with it one way or another. Definitely do not like green tea. A lot of people don't like that, or a lot of people do like that. Rather, not me. Not none of that green tea. Yorkshire tea? I haven't had that before. I'll keep my eye out for sure. So you do like Yorkshire tea or no? A little bit, okay. And then here's another important question. Sweet or unsweet? Or do you like put honey in it or something? I've heard like that it's common to put milk and honey in the tea in Britain. I've never tried it. I actually one day I want to make some British style scones and then have it with some Earl Grey tea with milk and honey and see what it's like in the full experience, you know. And of course, like I said, you can't actually get like British style spoons over here. The only reason that I had any before is because I was friends with a guy and he was from London and he was like freshly here in America and he would make scones and I had no idea that scones were rocks, you know? And so like he offered me a scone first time when I didn't know any better. And I accepted it. And of course, once you accept someone's food, then you have to eat it. And it was exceedingly difficult. I didn't know at the time. I was still young, and I didn't know that you're supposed to actually do it with like tea or something. And so I was trying to eat it like, you know, as if it were food. Unbeknownst to me, it was not food. It was a scone. So that was my first experience and last experience, let me just say, with a British style scone. And like on the one hand, you might want to say, well, maybe it was just a bad scone, but I really don't think so because I had other food over there, and it was not like rocks. it's bred into you, and to an extent, milk is a must. People go for sugar or honey with touch of preference. So I normally don't put any kind of sweetener in my tea. When I was a child, I would put honey, but what I considered at the time to be a lot of honey, nowadays, what I considered then to be a lot of honey is not very much honey. So this is just because the cultural idea of what a lot of, and I keep saying honey, but I'm actually meaning sugar. What people consider a lot of sugar has changed since then. Nowadays, they do crazy things like they super saturate a liquid into essentially a syrup, and then they're putting this into their tea. To me, what they're doing is making intense sugar water. It's not really drinkable for me. Oh no, I completely agree. American food. I mean, being American, I'm definitely partial, but having tried a good amount of British food in the past, I definitely prefer food that we have here by far. 100%, it's the safest for coffee these days are sweetened. Yeah, I I make my own coffee for the most part. I don't really get coffee out in the wild at all. Hardly at all, let's say, because I have my own preferences where that's concerned. For the tea, yeah, tea I'll get it out and about, but I typically am going to get it unsweetened if I get it when I'm, eating out or something like that, or at someone's house even. Pretty much, at this point, I would say I pretty much always drink unsweet tea if I'm going to drink tea. Everything you make is beige. So, I think you're referring to the fact that it's bland, right? And I would definitely agree with that. The British food is extremely bland, not a lot of flavor. I remember the first time I experienced what is now considered to be like medieval food style. There's a place, and I don't know how many iterations of it there are, but they're definitely in Texas called Medieval Times, where people dress up as knights and they reenact jousting and tournaments and the tournament style fights that they would do. And they also during this time feed you a substance that they call food. And it was very surprisingly bad when I experienced that. And I don't know, obviously, how close that is to the realities of those times. I mean, I seriously doubt that they rotted the chicken, for a while before they cooked it or anything like that. Which would be, more accurate to what was going on during those times. And I'm pretty sure they washed the silverware sometime in its existence too. So I don't think that we were getting the full experience of medieval style dining, but certainly it was not great. I'll say that. And I don't know where I was going with that, except that not great food. Yeah. Now, okay, speaking of such things, over in England they have something called spotted dick, which is a kind of, is it a kind of cake? I believe it is. I knew another fellow who was also from London, and he had moved here as a child, and he said that was his favorite dessert. And I've never had it, and always thought that I want to make some at some point, just so that I know what I'm getting into with that. But while we're on the subject, also, when I was a child, I read The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. And he mentions something called Turkish delight, all right? And it was really built up as this amazing thing that Edmund could not get enough of. He was involved with the Snow Queen and all that as a result of this Turkish delight. And I remember just thinking as a child, like, man, this Turkish delight stuff must be pretty dang good. But I've never had it. And it seems like it must be a very sticky thing, and I assume it's some kind of candy. That's another thing on my list of things I want someday to make, just to find out. I see that you've got, it's pretty good, not a staple or a go-to, but good cake's good cake. Talking about spotted dick, obviously, there. Yeah, I mean, cake is, cake is okay at worst, So different people have different opinions on the Turkish delight, huh? Well, I guess that's true for most things. It just always struck me that, like, man, this kid is going nuts over this Turkish delight. All the Turkish delight he can eat, And apparently that's a really good thing.
So I just noticed something a little odd looking at my forging stuff.
What's that? Sorry, coughing.
Well,
Here.
my old forging things provide more progress than my new forging things.
Yeah.
Except for the one that costs power. The one that costs power, the new one provides more.
You're not into the Turkish delight. Well, there's something else. It's Middle Eastern called baklava, right? And I wondered if that's a similar thing to Turkish delight. Have any idea? Oh, okay. Baklava is awesome. All right. I've had baklava lots of times. Okay, so it's more of a pastry than baklava. Baklava is, it definitely has a crunch to it. And of course, it's got the nuts and all that, which would, I don't know. I'm not sure how that compares. Having never had the Turkish delight, hard to say. Definitely gotta go on a cooking spree one of these days and just like cook a variety of dishes that I've never tried before. Find some recipes and hope for the best. The trouble is, like I said, you gotta find
So what
the
reason
most
would there
authentic
be
ones.
for bothering with the kite shield instead of the tower shield?
Some classes can use kite shields that can't use tower shields most of the time. So I think there's only a few classes that can use tower shields, right? Like 4 classes?
Oh yeah, that would be it.
Definitely. Yeah.
The same 4 classes are the only ones that can use a kite shield.
The trouble is, like I said, you gotta find. It'd be true. I think I hear myself in your background, which is cool. Interesting.
Oh, probably, yeah. I'm gonna turn you off in the background for now. So the same classes can use the tower shield that can use the kite shield.
Oh, well, okay. That's as maybe I couldn't remember. I just remembered there were only 4 that could use the tower shield.
Yeah, the same
Or
4 are the
sure.
only ones that can use the kite shield as well. So,
Well,
like,
I'm not
what
sure.
reason would I ever have to use the kite shield?
Well, you have to compare everything on it, compare the stats and all that, and you know.
The only difference is that the kite shield gives 5 power and 5 health instead of 10 health. It also has lower protection.
Oh, interesting. Are there any AA advantages, perhaps, to using one or the other?
I mean, I don't know.
I seem to recall that with my guardian, I always went with the tower shield.
Well, that's because the tower shield's just better. There's no reason I can see in the Paladin AA to bother with the kite shield. So, like, no specific AA requirements, at least for Paladins. I wouldn't know about Guardian, though. And monks don't use shields, so
No.
no reason for them to bother. They can't use it anyways. Really, honestly, I guess the only way for me to see if there's an AA requirement about it would be for me to go on my Berserker, because Berserkers and Guardians have, like, the same
Right.
AA.
Yeah. Alright, so Mr. Jared.
In fact, this is bugging me a lot, so I'm probably going to log off onto my Berserker once I'm done with this work order.
If you were going to recommend one food that you guys eat over there? And what would it be? Hard function, but biased. And then you say a word I don't know. Scouse? Lamb-based stew. Alright. You know, I don't think I've ever eaten lamb. I do like stew, though. I mean, you know, stew is good. Minted lamb, huh? So I know that people do that. They put mint with different meats, lamb being one of them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll have to try it sometime. I had, you know, I'm thinking about it now that you say that. It's possible that I may have had a tiny piece of lamb one time. It was like one of those things that I was visiting someone and they did a Passover. No, it was goat. Never mind. It was goat.
Stew is good.
Truth. Beef and potatoes. Looks like an ad starts in just a second too, according to the screen here.
I think there was mint on my steak once.
That's interesting. More likely, if it was steak, it would have had parsley on it. If it was a plant on your steak.
I think it was mint. It was at one of those, you know, fancy steak places, obviously.
Overall, of the different meat types that I've had, I definitely prefer beef. Shadow says we eat steak with mint and jellyfish sometimes. And you're over in the UK as well. Since
What? What did you say?
Oh, I was talking to Shadow.
Ah. I think there's an ad though.
There may be. I know that I saw there was going to be an ad. And so it probably is still going to probably correct. Less can be more with mint. Yeah, I would imagine. I'll drink like mint tea, right? Speaking of tea, that's the kind of tea that I like. Peppermint tea, it's pretty good. Shadow says on currants. Yeah. I don't do a lot of currants myself. You know what? Another thing that I had discovered from, media essentially and tried was sugar plums, right? And you find that from, the Not Before Christmas rhyme. And in my case, I'd heard it my whole life, visions of sugar plums danced in their heads, right? And so one day going along, I saw sugar plums for sale in like a bag, like pre-packaged bag of something they called sugar plums. And I thought, well, hey, you know what? I'll give this a go. I've heard about it my whole life. And this was like less than 10 years ago. And so I grabbed it and tried it. Oh, sugar plums. They are not what I was expecting, let me just say. It's, what a disappointment, I think that, I had kind of always thought that it was a candy. And when I thought of that, I suppose I thought of the American version of what a candy is. And turns out the British version of what a candy is really not the same as what the American version of a candy is. And that was one of my early experiences with that. Oh yeah, hard boiled candy. Yeah. So now there's a thing that's done in like the upper, I think in the northeast part of America called boiled peanuts. They boil peanuts, and I don't know if that's where that initially came from, but it's something that they still do here. And I gotta tell you, I'm not a boiled peanut kind of person. And I feel like maybe I don't know about this boiled candy business. Um, but it feels a little like boiled peanuts to me. It's just not, I'm not sure about it. It's a strange thing. Shadow says toasted bread and cheese and a bit of strawberry marmalade on it in the morning. Okay, now surely when you say cheese, we're not talking about like cheddar, right? This has got to be like cream cheese, maybe? Bread and cheese and a bit of strawberry marmalade. Non-mild cheese. You're saying yes to the cream cheese? Because I'm thinking of sharp cheese as the alternative to not mild, and surely that's also not what you mean, right? Not cream cheese. Okay, so not cream, but not cheddar, and so, but not sharp, right? Like sharp cheddar is one kind of cheddar. A mild cheese, non-smelly. Isn't all cheese smelly? No. Is it like Like goat cheese? Have I ever met Ole? Old Ole? I don't think I know I don't think I know Old Ole. I know Julio's. Boy, I am racking my brain right now. Old Ole smells, and his father's worse. All right, all right. Where where do you meet Old Ole at? Feel like I'm being strung along here. We got a lagered cheese here called Ole. Okay, so lagered meaning it's you have an alcoholic cheese. Smells when so like you eat it and you smell like it 1 week later? Is that what you're saying? Lagered is like a thing from it, so it's fermented. You're rotting it for a while. I mean, all cheese is rotted for a while. So there's one type of cheese that's terribly stinky, and I'm trying to remember the name of it. Um, ah, Mr. Jelly needs to know now if you're if you're German or Scandinavian. See, he knew because you're talking about lagered cheese over there, right? There's only certain people who are going to say lagered cheese. That's a tell for sure. So you guys are just across the pond from each other. Lived in Sweden for 2 years, Copenhagen for 6 months. So my understanding is that it's very difficult to get citizenship in Sweden, or at least it was, I'm going to say like 15 years ago. Is that still the case over there? It's a small world, guys. Oh, I was saying in Sweden, my understanding was at least 15 years ago that it was very difficult to get citizenship in Sweden. And I was wondering if that was still remained the case. They take a lot of foreigners in the country. Interesting. I wonder when that. Well, okay, so it's one thing to go over there for a while, right? But to actually become a citizen, is that more difficult there? I know that it was. But at the moment they're pressed. Yeah, I understand that there's a lot of trouble going over in that whole area regarding that at the moment. But yeah, I know it was. I want to say 15, maybe 20 years ago at the most. A friend of mine was trying to get citizenship in Sweden, and he would go there, and then his time would run out, and he'd have to come back, and he couldn't. He was having a lot of trouble getting citizenship at that time. This was it was probably in the mid 2000s. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. So they started taking people in, and yeah, that makes sense. Mr. Jelly says some parts of Sweden are wild, but I guess it's the same everywhere in Europe these days. That's what I understand. So what is the population in Denmark right now? It's pretty pretty small overall. Okay, I was about to guess 5 million, which uh which I would have been a little low, but well, it's close until you think about like you're right, yeah, 5 point something, but when the numbers are so small, a million difference is a pretty big difference, right? So that'd be, significant in that case to be off by that much. Unloaded some stuff in the depot. Let's see what the numbers look like on what we've got in there now. Yeah, that's more like it. We're still a little bit low on the Fey Iron, but not terrible. Me, yeah, sure. I'm from Texas.
Hello, I see you are also crafting.
No, no, I was just coming and checking to see what all we still needed.
Ah,
So you notice you ask most people where they're from, and they'll tell you what country they're from, but we in Texas, we just say Texas. It's like a country.
well, I am currently actively draining the Fey Iron, so
Well, good that I restocked then, huh? Oh, Liverpool for you. Cool. You know, I feel like I had uh I had guessed on you being from England the other day, but I'm not sure if I had
I'm about
tried
to hit
guessing the
level
exact area.
31 armor.
hello.
So French it is. So he swears in English is what I'm getting. That's fair. I used to know a guy who, let's see, he lived in America, but he actually lived in Siberia for half of the year because he worked in the oil fields, and he would swear in Russian. So nobody ever knew what he was saying because, of course, in America, not very many people speak Russian. So um, he would do that, and most Americans didn't even realize what he was doing. All right, you said your better half is from Martinique. Um, where is Martinique? Caribbean. All right. I've heard people pronounce it Caribbean, and I've heard people pronounce it Caribbean. And often, whenever they're talking about the movie series, they call that Pirates of the Caribbean.
I greet you.
Some islands belong to France. Yeah, that, France has owned a large portion of the world, really, at one time or another. They were just conquering like nobody's business over there. It's kind of crazy. Still, the amount of countries that have France as their official language as a result of that. That didn't win at Waterloo. Oh, yeah. That's, you know what? Blame Napoleon for that one. You know what else is humorous about Waterloo specifically? There's a song called Waterloo that was popular many years ago, decades ago at this point. It still plays sometimes. And the interesting thing about that is that I just learned like a few weeks ago that a lot of people in America don't know what Waterloo was. And I'm just thinking, that's so crazy. Like there's a song about it, and the people don't know what the song is, referencing. So it's like, you've got this, song about, in this case, it's like a love song or whatever. And yeah, ABBA, that's right. And then for it to have been such an incredibly popular song, and to the extent that it's still occasionally played here, after so many years have gone by, and yet people don't know what it's referencing. That's crazy. As to the Europeans knew what Waterloo was.
Some fool was selling Advanced Armor Volume 31 for 4 gold.
I guess you picked that one up.
Yeah, the second cheapest was 50 gold.
Yeah.
Speaking of that volume, or that volume of the Advanced Armors, do you want some boots? Advanced Armor Volume 31 for 4.
Did you ask me if I want boots?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got you. No, I'm good on boots. I'm actually gonna outlevel this tier here pretty soon anyway.
Oh, yeah, right, because you're like level 39 already.
Yeah, and I'll just keep the dwarven work boots on for these last few levels. In some countries that didn't work.
Me, mastercrafted boots are a little bit better than my work boots, so.
Yeah, they are a little bit better than the egg boots, but like I said, like being level 39 already, I don't see any reason for me to use.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and make myself some.
Sure.
And on the bright side, the work boots can be turned into a house item.
Yeah, for sure. They're kind of independent now, but they still fit them. Right, yeah. And well, it's kind of similar with like the purchase of Alaska back in the day by the United States, and of course that was Russia had owned Alaska, as I recall, and Seward purchased Alaska for an extremely cheap price, and I can't remember how much, but it was extremely low. And then everybody called it Seward's Folly, right? Because they all said he was an idiot to have procured that, wasted money, and then of course, come to find out, tons and tons of natural resources in Alaska, and so it turned from what was considered a terrible mistake into obviously an amazing purchase. So kind of the same thing there with Greenland. Only difference is nobody got it, before before it was revealed what kind of resources were available. 7.2 million. I couldn't remember the number. I just remembered it was extremely cheap to buy such an amazing, just the amount of land. It's massive. An apartment in London costs more. That's, in all honesty, maybe so. But we can account for an inflation a little bit. Maybe. I don't know what the going rate there is of the apartments in London, but however, I'm gonna say that I think, just at a guess, having never been to Alaska or to London, I'm still gonna go out on a limb and say I would rather live in London than live in Alaska if I had to choose between the two. In fact, I'd be willing. Well, okay, it's a tough call at this point. I've heard some of the things going on there in London, and it doesn't sound great. And I mean, on the plus side, in Alaska, you're right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does depend. Uh, it's a tough call, becoming more difficult to decide by the day. All right, we're gonna go back to like 80s London. All right, I would rather live in London in the 80s than in Alaska in the 80s. There we go. Let's see. Sweden is lovely this time of year. Bugajoa says the Louisiana purchase was $15 million. Yeah, yeah, that sounds right. Well, the good news is I'm hopeful that I'm never going to have to make the choice between Alaska and London. So there's that. And as far as all that goes, I would, if Louisiana were.
So the only AA thing in the Guardian line that requires any shield at all requires a buckler.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Why on earth would you ever use a buckler as a Guardian?
But yeah, I would definitely choose Louisiana over either of those two at this point. There, all you have to worry about is, the crocodiles and horrible snakes and, going outside, things like that. Somebody sent me a nasty mail in game because you didn't pay your rent? Really? So they came and tried to buy something from your house and they couldn't, and they they sent you a mail. That's great. Oh my goodness, the spell you were trying to sell? That's great. Yeah, I do. I remember that. You had a very good price on it. It was an area outrider, right? Area Outrider is a great spell, so I'm sure they were sad. But you know what? It's no it's not nice to say that kind of thing to people, you know? Hopefully they phrased it more politely. Maybe they were just, letting you know for future. I've been known to contact people in game before. They had something for sale, and they didn't have it where you could go pick it up from their house or something like that. But I've contacted them, just waited for them to log in, and then said, "Hey, I would buy this from you if you'll meet me. I'll give you this much money." And that's always been effective whenever I've done that. It's been a long time since I did that. You did that earlier on and the guy ignored you? Oh no. Maybe he was AFK or something. We'll give a little benefit of the doubt, right? Or maybe he didn't speak English, possibly. I've actually done that with someone on live before, and they spoke the Ping dialect, and I don't speak the Ping dialect, just so you guys know. But I was able to recognize it. This was many years ago, and so I was able to I think Google Translate was out, and so I actually put it into Google Translate and communicated with this dude to get to work out a deal with him. It's kind of crazy. Where did all the nice people go, right? Oh no. Back in WoW, that's saying something there. This tree right here has some issues. Look at this. Look at this. This is crazy. Something seems slightly off. But then too, I think sometimes people are just shy, maybe they don't know how to, communicate well with strangers and things like that. So I try to give people benefit of the doubt, as long as they're not overtly rude, malicious, as long as they're not malicious. If you had sent me on a black mail, I would have still 10 gold less. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if the guy's gonna be rude, then absolutely don't give him a deal. That's for sure. But yeah, because there are definitely polite ways to say, hey, I want to buy your house and I wanted to buy something from you, but your house rent wasn't paid, and unfortunately, you're not able to pay it because I've tried. If if I had been able to pay their rent for them, I would have just thrown out that 5 silver or whatever and, been good to go. But unfortunately, it wasn't an option. So one good thing about having the guild house with all the depots and everything in it is, we've got our salesman crates and all that in there, and, kind of one location, and everybody goes in and people throw in money to the escrow now and then. And so it gives the do I have a con? Are we referring to a conjurer or anyone in the guild 20th? Conjurer, I have a conjurer on live. I don't have a conjurer in here in the guild, like level 20s. Doesn't look like, we have Nightmare. He's on right now. Oh, I'm sorry. You're referring to your area outrider spell. Let me see. If you do level 32 area outrider is a wonderful spell. Let's see here. Looks like our highest is Illusarial at level 20 for a conjurer, so. Oh, well, thank you. I'll throw it in the depot when Illusarial gets to be that level. I'm sure he will appreciate it. Illustrial is the same as Garrett from Same person.
I will kill to protect this land.
It's a very good spell, so I don't know why nobody bought it from you, honestly. You had a good price on it, so I saw you putting it in channel that one day. Man, it's rough. We got a good number of good masters dropping in Obelisk of Lost Souls yesterday. The Dirge got a couple missed. The Dirge got a couple of good spells. And then there was at least one Conjurer spell that dropped there as well. But I don't remember what it was right now. Well, thank you, Shadow. I'm sure that Belisario will appreciate it in mini levels. But actually, you know, I found that the levels go a lot faster than unnecessary. ready, ready for. Like I said, I don't even have all my ruthenium on, and I'm almost out leveled to where it makes sense to use it. Well, thank you. I'll throw that into the depot probably as well. Which one was it? Oh, okay. It's one you needed. Yeah, all right. Yeah, absolutely. It'll probably take 15 or 20 minutes for it to show up in my mailbox. But actually, I see that there's mail right here. Huh. You know what? This is going to be poisons from Napo, I bet you. But we'll go see. Oh, all of the above are going on here. All right, so let's grab these poisons. I had forgotten that he sent these to me, which is funny because I had just picked up some much lower level and not really so good ones. Looks like I didn't have any auto consume going. So let's see what we've got here. Weapon sumo toxin inflicts 122 poison on target instantly every 6 seconds. It's pretty nice. Damage over time. This one is just straight 271 damage. And then we have Workman's Warding Ebb. Decreases wisdom of target by 22.5. Decreases mitigation of target versus elemental, noxious, and arcane by 463. So that would be a great one for grouping. Cool. For now, let's see. The situation I'm currently. I'm just going to turn this one on. Now, yeah, Abhorrent Gift is the one that we're going to send back to the server. We'll receive that, and then receive the Arid Outrider, and then send white plums, getting there. A little slow on the tapping, but it happens. Nope, no B for the P. It's a tough one. And there's Abhorrent Gift. Throw that in there. And send. Thanks. There we go. Easy peasy. Oh yeah, absolutely. Not very at all. Well, yeah, but it's good to get it underway, right? You make spells on advanced. So you make yourself the adept priest. Oh, I see. I see. You make them in advance. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you carry the ones for your next level in your bags so that you can just pop them on whenever you level out there in the wild? Yeah. It's a good way to do it. I need to upgrade a good number of mine right now. In fact, I will hop over there and dump a bunch of this stuff into the depots, I think. Let's see, did I actually get any Baron? I got 9. 9 Baron. That's gonna go a long ways. But yeah, I'll hop over there and dump a bunch of this stuff and then stop 29 minutes on the call. And then go pick up some brains, hopefully. Find some brains somewhere. Pick those up. No. Pick up some master spells, perhaps. It's just for... Well, it doesn't have to. I'm gonna come down here and mint. I could have just gone on the, dang, ran right by the mender, too. Anyways, that's hilarious. I interrupted my own train of thought there. Doing well overall, as usual. Thundering steps. That's where I'm trying to go. Could have gone there and minted, but... Oh well. I'm pretty happy with just dumping stuff in depots, and I'll get to it when I get to it, kind of thing. Enchanted, right? Yeah. Yeah, I just gathered everything. It's fine. Did you just make it over there to start gathering? If so, you should have some nice new fresh spawns. Oh, I don't know. I feel like I got some. I got a few logs. Yeah, he logs, right? Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, rare oak in there. Yeah, I don't really have um, anything I want to do with the oak. I'm just gonna toss it into the, I mean, I'm just gonna toss all of it into the depot, honestly. But, uh, but yeah, I don't have any big plans with it.
There you are.
Ran right into a rock. What auto run gets you right there? Just having a drink of that coffee of the aforementioned style, and ran right into a rock. I almost stopped to gather that mug. You know what? Why not, right? Why not, indeed? Let's go ahead. Flip the rock. And when I'm saying rock, I'm definitely meaning tree. It could be a petrified wood stump. What do we know? It says it's a windfall tree, but I've never once in my life seen windfall tree written over a stump of a log. So I question it. Things are different in Norath. The badgers are deadly,
Hello.
and the tree stumps have words floating in the air above them. And I flew to Orc Tower instead of dogs. Oh man.
Hello.
We're gonna try that again this time with gusto. So I was hoping to be able to figure out how to make the viewing screen fit better in the viewing box Twitch. I still haven't really came to any good conclusion about how to do that. You would think you could just drag it to the proper size, but that has not been my experience thus far. I've tried changing various things, but it just does not want to do that so far. Probably there's a way, and maybe someday I can figure it out, but that day was not today.
You talk to strangers.
And with scrying stones, absolutely. But if you're talking about the dude who's standing out there, decaying in the Enchanted Lands, that one wasn't me. I killed mine. I did see him, though. Okay, so it looks like we have 9 phase steel clusters after I added mine. So, that'll be enough. Well, that'll be enough for a good start there for Gargrim and Mappo. Not to have enough to, completely fit it out or anything, but you know what? It's not bad. Throw this into here. And I'm going to throw these poisons, rather, into there as well. Don't think that I have anything over in Legend, but just in case. Alright, excellent. Excellent. Looks good. Alright, I better get off of here for a little bit and go get things done in the outside world for a while. But it was a pleasure streaming with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed my my gathering experience as much as I did. But I did enjoy chatting with you all. And I'll be back in, I don't know, it may be like an hour and a half. It may be somewhere in that area. Maybe a little shorter. Hard to say. But anyway, for those who are not following me, be sure to follow me and turn on notifications so you'll know when I go live. And I will see you all later. Bye bye.